Today I'm joined by Lisa L. Levy, a business strategist, three-time number one best-selling author, and founder of L Cube Consulting. Lisa helps organizations cut through complexity by aligning people, process, and technology to build future-ready businesses. Let's get into the show. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
Good, good. It's good to see you again.
You too?
Anything going on lately since I met you?
Oh my gosh, my practice, we're focused all in on AI and helping businesses grow and continuously improve using AI as their mechanism to do it.
Wow, that's exciting. Oh, cool. We can get into a little more, and I'll just jump right into the questions I have prepared. So, can you share a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what you do, and what your company does?
Absolutely. I'm Lisa L. Levy. I'm the founder of L Cubed Consulting, the host of Disrupt and Innovate podcast, and an aspiring professional troublemaker. What?
Love it. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Well, Cubed is the consulting firm. We are 17 years into our journey, and we work with businesses to help them align people and process and enable with technology. From my perspective, people plus process times technology equals growth and scale. And we have been working with mid-market companies all the way through large enterprises for, again, 17 years, but everything that we do is always a little bit different. Every client is a little different in what we do and how we do it with them. But what's core to us is a leadership team that is focused on being a little bit disruptive, challenging the status quo and the norms inside of their business so that they're better tomorrow than they are today.
That's pretty awesome. What inspired you to start your company, and then what steps were involved to your current role, and then what you do?
So the inspiration was what I refer to as a full on, no holds barred adult temper tantrum. I one day had my dream job. I was building a project management office for a startup company that was getting ready to go gangbusters, IPO, all of the really cool things that anybody who does the startup experience is waiting for. And I hated every minute of it and would drive to work, my hands on the steering wheel, clenching the steering wheel, like on the verge of tears because it was awful and not anything that I really ever wanted to do. So, in a very unplanned moment, I said enough. I was tired of the change of executive leadership, the churn, and all of these things that were going on. And I looked around the organization and said, I can build a team that can do what this organization, what this company needs. I can do it for others as long as I have the right leaders in place. And so, in the spur of a moment, I made a rash decision with no plan, no real parachute, but I went for it. Was lucky that I was at the time single. I have no children, and so I only had to put a roof over my head and food in my tummy. And I started on an entrepreneurial journey with absolutely no plan.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting how people started. And a lot of times that they just started it. And I was like, I'll get over I'll figure it out. I'll start it. So I think it was also for your situation too. That's really actually very brave thing to do because it's very, very hard to actually step on and do it because a lot of people are just stuck in a like was it decision paralysis or like what is that research paralysis? They're just like stuck there and just like maybe there's like you're just kind of thinking about 10 different scenarios that's gonna go wrong, but it's always like people who actually really started it just started it.
Yeah, I don't recommend just I do recommend a little thought. I do recommend a little financial planning. I do recommend having a path that you think you wanna pursue, right? And so I did what I knew at the time, which was project management, and I started down that path and solving the problem of, delivering projects on time, on budget, on scope, all of those things with clients. The
Mhm.
business has grown and evolved so much from there, right? So project delivery is one thing, but right, having the right people to do the right work, to understand what processes are, to know what makes a process better tomorrow than it is today, and understand that, finding effectiveness, finding efficiency. And most importantly in all of it is taking people inside of a business through change,
Mm.
right? Because we as human beings resist it and we don't want to change. If we're comfortable in what we're doing, it's really nice to be comfortable. And we have to learn how to embrace uncertainty and how to step into uncomfortable times and unfamiliar things to grow and change. And so yeah, where we started and where we are, two very different things. But it's been one fantastic roller coaster ride.
That's amazing. Um, so did you when you started, did you start it on your own or did you have like a partners or any like VCs or anything in the background?
So this whole undertaking has started, it was me. It was people in my network that I had who had either worked for me, worked with me, were in other places, and they became my first clients, right? I was leveraging my network, my reputation, to start building a business and bringing on individuals to work as project managers, as program managers, as portfolio managers, all those different roles. So
Right.
100% bootstrapped. No funding has ever come into this business. Every dollar that we've earned.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and I'm sure that was very also challenging at the moment too, as you grow, and then there are different things coming up and fixing and whatever going further.
There are, right? And so we've grown effectively over time to a point.
Hmm.
And we're looking at something on the horizon that's new and different. And I have adult children in my life that came to me, later in life, and as teenagers who are, contributing like they're actually adulting now, and they want to be a part of this. And so something that started really on was me and grew from me, and everything that is me is in the next 5 to 10 years something that is a legacy that's gonna have a second generation tied to it. That was never, ever a consideration. But with that, right, there's gonna probably be discussions about funding and things to actually make this level of scale, um, kind of explode for us for the first time.
Right. And I'm sure that's very like a humbling and proud moment for you that like your children is actually taking over what you're building and what you have built.
I am so excited for the day when I operationally have 0 responsibility. I can't wait for that to happen. I want to be a happy founder. I want to be a chair of the board, and I want to see them make this more than I ever imagined possible.
That's amazing. So the reason I asked, like, if you have anyone around you, I think you mentioned the network, and I don't know if the network pretty much you're based to well to lead to your clients. But have you been in any of the business communities or professional networks that play the role of like a masterminds or anything like that to help you around that? How did it actually help you grow?
So, absolutely, what a this is a fantastic question, and I think something that we don't talk about enough.
Mhm.
Yes. So, I am a member of the C-Suite network and have been for 6 years now, and it is a business network ecosystem. There are multiple, masterminds inside of the space and business solutions and tools so that we can refer to one another, we can grow together, we can do deals together, we can leverage services that we're getting discounts because the network is buying in bulk. There are things that are very, very much that have added a tremendous amount of value.
Mhm.
From that, my business today and what it was 6 years ago, and that trajectory, again, a very specific change. I built a consulting practice because that's what I knew how to do with the mastermind and the idea of being a thought leader and taking the knowledge that I have and sharing it in different ways, right? The Disrupt and Innovate podcast, a coaching practice that is different than the consulting practice, speaking on stages, writing, publishing. I have 3 books, one that is entirely mine, two that were collaborative anthology type efforts. None of those things would have ever been on my radar if I hadn't been inside of a business network and a mastermind environment that opened those ideas up for me.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I'll probably ask you a little more about it offline about like what those were because I am a very proponent of masterminds and business owners and then sharing knowledge and also grow together because I get a lot of benefit just talking to them or even learn from what they have like some simple things like what tools they use, like how do they handle certain situation. Those have been tremendously helpful for me. So it's like I know there are a lot more communities than I know of. So it's always kind of interesting to learn about what's out there. So like I'll definitely want to learn more about that. This is my favorite question so of the day is that what would you say is a one skill that is absolutely essential for business owners, leaders, or entrepreneurs?
The one skill that is absolutely essential is patience. And from somebody who stands and talks about being disruptive and innovating and all of the things that I do that might sound counterintuitive, but we have to be okay stopping, listening, understanding what's going on around us, and not always just reacting. And patience is absolutely a skill and a capability that we can learn and practice because I have none of it naturally. I
Mm,
zip, nada. If an idea comes out of my mouth, I expect, right, that it's gonna be done and that we're doing and we're moving forward. Being able to understand the people around me, how they learn, how they communicate, takes me practice, takes to stop, listen, be patient, and
mhm.
understand what's happening, and the more patient I am, the outcomes and the things that we do around me are so much better than if I just run as fast as I possibly can forward and expect that everybody else is keeping up with me. So much better if I let everybody rise to their level of capability their way and not expect them to do it mine.
Oh, wow. Is there any specific things or tactics or methods that you do that helped you grow your patience? Because I'm one of those people, like, I flat out. But, I need to kinda step back and just hold on, and it's like, I mean, this is one of the things I always want to make sure that I am patient and, like, wait for it, but, like, it's always very challenging. I don't know if there's any tips that you can give me or give
So
anyone,
the one tip and it's a silly thing, and I'm sure, right, it's when you hear something you don't necessarily like, counting to 3 or to 10 before you respond with a snarky comment goes a really long way. It's right, this is like things we should have learned in kindergarten but may have forgotten, but, right, stop, breathe, ask questions, be curious about the thing that you didn't make sense to you, didn't register, because oftentimes and I've had to do this recently bringing on a VA, and I've never had an assistant, right? Somebody who's so up in my stuff.
Right.
And I ramble off, "I need you to do these things," and she's, yes, willing, right? This is her job, she loves doing it. But if I don't give her enough detail and requirements around what I'm expecting, right, what I get back is kind of the garbage I asked for,
Mhm.
so stopping and learning to make sure that she understood the ask, that she could mirror back what it was, that there's a moment for her, right, "Do you have any questions? Does this make sense?" Simple little things that, can easily be overlooked when you're running, 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 and make all of the difference in the world. So, right, by stopping, breathing, and asking for that close the loop in the communication loop. Do you have everything you need to be successful? Is the most powerful question I ask today.
Yeah, that's actually very basic, but it's probably very effective. I'm gonna start doing that too because entrepreneurs, business owners, they're always like they're just like you said, they're just running, running, and running, running, and they don't step back. And it's like that's probably just came as a habit at the point when you're up to that level, because you've been just running so fast all your life that it's like it's harder to just kind of stop and pause and just be patient about it. So.
And the next step of this evolution, right, comes a place where I am not necessarily leading, and I can't wait for the day when my favorite question gets to be, "How can I help you be successful?" Because right, everything has been delegated out. Everybody is doing the things that they need to be doing, and I become a resource for escalation and for assistance and for helping level up, and not just the person who's, got the list of things that needs to get done. I'm so excited for that day to come.
Yeah, and I'm sure that day will come probably sooner than you think. So that'd be great. Where can people learn more about you and your work?
The easiest place to find me is on LinkedIn. I am Lisa L. Levy. The middle initial is important. The website is lcubedconsulting.com, and you can find us on YouTube at lcubed consulting.
Yep, and I'll actually, make sure to put that in our show notes, and I know that you have your, 3 books that you published, so we're gonna put the link on that as well. Anything else to add, before we head out?
Enjoy the journey. It's not predictable. Never know what's going to happen tomorrow, but just keep on keeping on.
Thank you so much, and it was very, very insightful conversation.